I've been hacked in a very, very serious way. One of my YouTube channels was decimated and completely taken down by Google and YouTube. I had my primary Gmail email address compromised in an epic way. And the whole stress and frustration of what I've gone through in the last few days has been off the scale. I wasn't going to do a video about this because, as you will see now, everything is back up and running and retrieved. But what I'm going to try and do in this bit of a video is explain what happened, and all being well, it won't happen to you. Things to look out for. I'm going to talk about security, and most importantly, I'm going to talk about how I managed to get my YouTube channel back and without any strikes, and thankfully how I managed eventually to find help and support. So a week or so ago, it was actually less than a week ago, I'd finished work. I'd done a late shift. I was quite tired. It was about 10 o'clock at night. Sat down on my laptop. I have a laptop and a desktop PC. And I start doing what I call my sort of catch-up hour. And as a YouTuber, with many YouTubers, you get offered collaborations constantly, all the time, by companies. People offering products to you or services to you or items, interns that you'll do a product review for them. It'll either be paid for or gifted or whatever. Every day I get given offers for collaborations, and 9 out of 10 I don't do. I'm not going to do a product review for an item that's worth £5 and it's going to take me an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours, whatever, to video. I don't do them. Some I do. As you see, I have got a playlist of product reviews which we have taken. Anyway, to cut long story short, it was quite an unusual. It was a video editing piece of software, an AI video editor, and this person had reached out and said he would like to collaborate, be a paid for collaboration. Sent me over to a website that looked okay. You've got to bear in mind the actual YouTube channel, my Neil Taylor YouTube channel, has been going for 17 years, never ever been compromised, ever. I've never been hacked. I've never had malware. I had an incident once on Instagram where I had an account hijacked, but never ever on Gmail or Google or YouTube, ever. Over 17 years. So went back and he said, well, all you need to do is just download the beta version that we're running. So when I downloaded it, an alarm bell rang. It was an exe file. Those that know what I'm talking about will know what I'm talking about. But the executionable file, I call them the exe file, had a PDF icon. I thought, that's strange. That's strange. So if you're a software developer, you create your own. And I emailed back and they said, well, it's because it's in beta. And I should have known better, but I didn't. I thought, okay, because it's a legit website, or so I thought. So this software wasn't installing, and it's like there's something wrong here. Bear in mind, I have got firewalls on here, and I've got like Microsoft Defender. I've got, everything's bolted up, and I thought, well, whatever. I'll just move on and carry on with my evening. Then I'm then getting some security alerts on my phone and via my other Gmail accounts going, your Gmail is being compromised. And then I've got like two-factor security on there, so you can't get into it unless you've got a phone attached to it. You need your password and recovery emails. All these were all in place, and then I couldn't get my Gmail back. This is my Prime one. This is the one that's linked to my phone, which links to the Google Wallets, which links to our Google. This is my most important Gmail. I've got several other Gmails, but this is my primary Gmail. Everything is linked to this one Gmail. And then my son sends me a WhatsApp. He says, "Dad, why are you streaming? Why are you streaming on your YouTube channel about cryptocurrency?" Here is a quick screen grab, what he grabbed of what was streaming on my channel. And it's like, oh my God, like somebody is now in my, in inverted commas, Neil Taylor YouTube channel. And obviously, those that know about YouTube, you can attach other YouTube channels to that account. And so my Campsite Warden one is in there. I couldn't gain access to the YouTube studio. So most of you will know we are normally quite a few videos in the bank. We have quite a few videos lined up. So I've got several videos all ready to go live, and some of them are dated and they're all out of order. So recently some people were commenting going, "Why your videos are out of order?" And I'm trying to explain now what had actually happened. That's on the Campsite Warden channel. So the Neil Taylor channel was unavailable, and then it was taken down. It's like, oh shit, how am I going to get everything back? How on earth am I going to get, how am I going to resolve this? So if you're a YouTuber and you've got more than 1,000 subscribers, you can go into the YouTube studio and you can get help within an hour. Well, the problem I've got now, I can't get into the studio. I can't get any help. There is no help available. And then all you're being done is you're giving links to how to retrieve your Gmail back, and you're going round and round and round and round and round. I think I stayed up till 4:30 in the morning, and I got work the following morning. I was exhausted. And on the Google help, they were going, reach out. YouTube has a help Twitter account. And I tried to reach out on this Twitter account, and I'm monitoring the Twitter account. There's loads of other people asking for help. This must be a continuous thing. And this particular bit of malware also, I believe, is doing the rounds. It's all been reported. So I tried on my primary Twitter account, and I did get an acknowledgement from the YouTube with some help. And I had to go to bed, and then I had to go to work, and I'm really stressed out, and my Neil Taylor channel has been taken down. And bear in mind that things are now monetized. So who's now got access to my AdSense bank account and all the rest of it? Oh my God, the stress. I had to go to work the next day. Then when I managed to finish work, I loaded up a couple of dormant Twitter accounts that I had years ago. One of them I hadn't used for about 7 years. And fortunately, I could remember the password, the email was valid, and I managed to reach out to the YouTube support Twitter people who, to give them credit, I was stressed out. They did DM me, direct message me with some help and some links. I'd also had some emails from within YouTube to do with a feature we've been testing from YouTube. So I reached out to somebody within YouTube, and they said, we can't do anything. And it's like, oh, man, my stress levels are here. People at home on the Campsite Warden channel would have been seeing content being added normally. That channel hadn't been fully compromised at this stage. But I'm unable to reply to comments, or I'm unable to heart comments, which I do all the time. I eventually, via this direct messaging service on Twitter, managed to get some links, and I managed to get some balls rolling. So first of all, you have to log on to a browser with an active Gmail, which I'd got. So I had to open up a new browser. You have to clear all your cookies and all your history. So basically, there is nothing within that browser. It's clear. You have to only use that browser. You'll be asked for your IP address to verify that it's you. And the strangest one is you also need your YouTube ID number, not your handle, your IP number, your YouTube number. And I had to do that by going to the source code. Those that know what I'm talking about will know what I'm talking about. You can do this by viewing the source code to find your YouTube ID numbers. So I got 2 channels now that were compromised. One completely taken down. One is still live, but I can get no access to the back end of it, what's called YouTube Studio. And obviously, our time zones here in the UK are very different to the time zones in America. But thankfully, the YouTube help, the Google help is 24/7. And because I'm UK based, they also work weekends. With a lot of toing and froing, I managed to get things rolling. But the hacker that hijacked my account, he changed the phone number attached to my Gmail, the recovery email accounts, and he was also using an NFC pass device to gain to hold the account to ransom, and he was also using a USB key. He bolted down, and anytime I'm doing any requests, he will have been getting, or she will have been getting alerts. Anyway, to cut a long story short, as I say, YouTube had now completely taken down the Neil Taylor channel. And then, thank God, they actually disabled my Gmail account. Completely disabled it. So this other person could not use it any longer. And the support that I got from there on wasn't for the faint-hearted. There were some technical things you needed to do with the way you were logging in, the information you were getting in, and fortunately, the ball started to roll, and I got hacked on the Wednesday night, and by the Sunday morning, so in the grand scale of things, this was quite quick. I'd actually managed to gain access back to my Gmail. And it's like, oh, thank God for that. My AdSense was okay. My Google Photos, all photos was fine. The Google Calendar was fine. Everything was now in my control. So I've obviously gone, bolted down with as much security as I possibly can, on this, again with different recovery methods if you get hacked again. So if you have got a primary Gmail account, your big Gmail account that's linked to your phone, that's linked to your YouTube, whatever you do, go and check your security and check and double check every piece of security that you've got. So I was then hoping that because I now got my Gmail activated, I would get my YouTube back. You then had to set in another appeal because your YouTube channel had been compromised for inappropriate content. So along this trail of help that had come via Twitter, I managed to submit a claim with all the details, and I was able to back up and verify that the compromise had happened via a hacker. Ultimately, the person to blame here is me for clicking on that link on that webpage. My hands are held high on this one. And I was so grateful that the response, it felt like it was lasting forever and ever and ever. But it was within a few hours, I was getting responses from Google security. I put in a request to bring back my YouTube channels. And you know what? Last night, which was the Sunday, so the channel was compromised in the middle of the night on the Wednesday, everything came back. I lost on my Neil Taylor channel, my avatar and banner, and that's like, whoa, I don't care about that. I was the Neil Taylor channel. It brings in enough money for a meal a month. There's hardly any money comes in off that, but it's got 17 years of memories. So my eldest son, who alerted me that he'd been coming, said, you know, Dad, I'm just going to be gutted because there's so many memories of there of me growing up. Anyway, I got it back. And then in turn, I was then able to get my Campsite Warden YouTube studio back and able to sort out some of the videos that we'd already uploaded. So if you're watching this now, you may have noticed things have been a bit strange recently with the order things have gone in. And everything has come back. If you're a YouTuber and you were earning a living from this, so YouTube was your main job, the stress that this would have caused you, I can't even think about. So my Campsite Warden channel does bring in a small income. Roughly speaking, it's about a week's wage. Each month I get the equivalent of a week's wage. But because me and my wife, Sandra, are working, if I did lose that, we would be okay. Financially, we would be okay. But if you were a full-time YouTuber and you hadn't got a Twitter account and you weren't tech knowledgeable, all sorts of problems. I'd also, I have loads of backup drives. I have got every YouTube video I've ever put up, 17 years, or more than 17 years, because before YouTube I was backing things up. I have got a full backup of everything. So if everything had been completely compromised, I could have started again and I could have drip fed all my videos back. So I have kept, and I still back up a backup of years of videos. So everything came back, but I just want to warn you, if you're a YouTuber with collaborations, I get approached all the time by companies that claim they can increase my YouTube channel by thousands of followers and all the rest of it, but they want access to the back end. Never, ever, ever give that to anybody. Ever. No matter how much money you're being offered, don't ever, ever, ever do that. Those requests come in regular. I've never reviewed a piece of software before. There's a lesson learnt there, isn't there? Goods can't cause you any harm as far as a hack or malware goes. The bizarre thing was last night we were out and I'm looking at my old Neil Taylor channel that had been compromised, and lo and behold, my revenue for that is I've earned more money since the hack because of this live stream than I have done in a long time. And that live stream at one point had 12,000 people watching it. Again, let me put in here now again. Have a look at the thumbnail that was being used for that live stream. So again, as far as the reporting process, the hacker email has been submitted. I have been approached by exactly the same sort of scam by another person. The website is still up, and this will have caught out a lot of YouTubers. You will sometimes get offered collaborations for software, and if you reply back, they will send you a press pack. Never, ever undo a RAR file or a zip file, because within there will be malware. So I have had a couple of these press packs and alarm bells are rung. So don't ever, ever do anything like that. And support is available. And I have got to thank Google and YouTube for turning the most tragic thing ever into a little bit of magic. My anxiety level, I didn't eat for 2 days. I was physically almost sick with what happened. It was It was absolutely awful. But why don't you right now go and check each of your Gmail accounts, especially that primary Gmail account. Change your password even. Just check and check and check and check your security. And be very aware that there are some nasty people out there that will cause you harm if you can. Thankfully, as I say, I've managed to get everything back within a handful of days. So I really appreciate that. I was almost in tears, and that's it. I've lost everything. And the other frustrating thing was on the Campsite Warden, you were seeing videos that I'd populated that were going up out of order and everything, and some people were commenting, but you took down your greenhouse 2 days ago. Why is it up? And anyway, you've got here a very happy Neil Taylor, an erstwhile Campsite Warden. Be very, 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 very careful out there.